Sam Wilson is ready to take to the skies once again as the Star-Spangled Man. But will this be his most dangerous mission to date as dangers take on a gamma-irradiated angle? Well, let's hop into the pages of Sam Wilson Captain America issue number 1, the kickoff to a brand new series, courtesy of the award-winning Greg Pak, and find out what happens next together, shall we? So then, as the comic opens up, we're in Harlem. We see a soup kitchen opening for business, only to come under attack by an army of heavily armored vampires, no doubt left over from the events of Blood Hunt. Now, you would think the disenfranchised people utilizing this soup kitchen would be scared of undead bloodsuckers, right? Only they're not, because they know better than anyone that someone is out there watching over them from the skies. A man who long before he was a superhero was already fighting the good fight as a social worker. Of course, I'm talking about Sam Wilson, who swoops on in and starts whooping some suckerhead ass like it's going out of business. In fact, this beatdown is becoming so heinous and so legendary it ends up even catching the attention of Steve Rogers, which means we have Captain America fighting alongside Captain America. Steve says that he knows that Sam had this problem under control and could have handled it without him, but at the same time, who would pass up the chance to fight vampires next to such a good friend? Now, as you probably already guessed, this soup kitchen is actually one of the first places that Sam ever volunteered at as a social worker, so it's pretty damn important to him. And the people there still very much look up to and revere him as a hero. After the threat is ended, Sam decides to invite Steve along to his next appointment, which just so happens to be a massive cookout celebration uniting all of Marvel's finest black superheroes. Man, I didn't think that we would get a literal cookout, not just a metaphorical one. Is this a regular thing that the heroes do? If so, how do I get invited? You know the food is absolutely fire here. No one brought any potato salad with any damn raisins in it. I kid, of course. This celebration is actually one giant party honoring the achievements of Isaiah Bradley, aka the original Black Captain America, a beloved elder statesman of the superhero community, as well as one of the last surviving test subjects of the original super soldier serum trials. Hell, this is such an important gathering too, they even managed to drop reference to Josiah X, aka Isaiah's kind of clone, kind of son, who's always been a figure of fascination in Marvel Comics, but who kind of fell off the face of the earth after the cancellation of the crew. Basically, what if Captain America was not only black, but also an outspoken Muslim minister, who was also a victim of horrifying injustice at the hands of the American government and military? Yeah, you can understand why Marvel is kind of afraid of bringing that character back, but it's nice to know he still exists. Hell, this party is basically one giant Bradley family reunion, as Patriot, aka Eli Bradley, is there too, as we learn War Machine Rhodey has actually taken him under his wing to try and break him back into superheroing full time. And hey, speaking of family, Sam also brought along Wilhelmina, his cousin, who goes between being absolutely starstruck by getting to hang out with the likes of Storm while also trying to network with the heroes, which doesn't go nearly as well. Wilhelmina, or Billy as she is also known, actually has some good news for her and Sam. It seems that their grandfather finally got a big governmental payout as part of a class action lawsuit related to discrimination and redlining that caused the Wilsons' grandfather to lose the family farm back in the day. In fact, there's a whole backup story in this very issue about the Wilson farm and how it was very important to Sam during his formative years, and how his grandfather was such a nice, charitable dude who would give you the shirt off his back, and how he actually served as a huge inspiration for a young Sam to become a social worker in the first place. It's really good. In fact, I don't know why it's not in the main story, because it's such an important plot point in terms of context, but I digress. Furthermore, it seems a conglomerate going by the name Eagle Star is looking to do some business in that area, and they want to reach out to the Wilson family for an opportunity. Now, if Eagle Star sounds familiar to you, it should, because Greg Pak actually created the group as a band of mercenaries over in his War Machine series. Hell, they're technically in the MCU too, appearing in Agent Carter as well as the comic book prelude to Black Widow. Because War Machine is at the party, he actually gets Captain America up to speed on everything that's going on with Eagle Star and tells him to watch his back. Furthermore, Steve and the other Avengers get called away on a mission, but everyone just kind of agrees that Sam should go with Billy to investigate these guys and see if they're on the level or not. As we soon learn, Eagle Star has been taken over by a new charismatic CEO going by the name of Dennis Harmon, and oh yeah, look at this dude, he just looks evil as all fuck, doesn't he? Now, what exactly is Harmon and Eagle Star doing for poor black farmers in this area? Well, nothing on the land. It seems they have built a massive massive floating farming complex. By using technology they managed to appropriate from Wakanda thanks to one of their head scientist fathers once being a Wakandan spy. Again, if this is setting off red flags all over the place, it really should. Furthermore, turns out Eagle Star's head of security is none other than Robert Maverick. Don't remember him? Well, he was the second Red Hulk, as well as a major figure in the old US Avenger books. We haven't actually seen Maverick for a long time, not since he heroically sacrificed himself during the events of Avengers No Surrender. Sam was actually there, and because of that, he's even more suspicious how Eagle Star would be able to get such a military man to turn his back on his country and take a job in the private sector. Harmon says that Eagle Star offers a really good medical package, and Maverick needed it, as after his last run-in with the Hulk, he himself can't actually transform anymore. Keep that in mind because it will be important later. As Harmon takes Sam and Wilhelmina to the fields, we see what exactly he's doing. It's an entire state-of-the-art agricultural setup staffed almost entirely by disenfranchised black farmers, injured vets, as well as those who just recently got out of jail on low-level drug crimes. Yes, that's exactly what you think it is. It's 40 acres and a mule, only the acres are in the sky and the mule is a robot. And that's not me inferring either what I think this means. No, one of the characters literally says this is 40 acres and a mule. And if you're not American and this reference goes over your head, basically 40 acres and a mule was what was promised to the formerly enslaved Africans at the end of the Civil War, a promise that was very famously never fulfilled. Also, if you care, not long ago someone crunched the numbers and the actual cash price of keeping that promise today would be about $64 billion, which seems like a lot until you remember that the war in Iraq cost about a couple $1 trillion. Now, understandably, Captain America feels that all of this is way too good to be true and that these reparations have to have some horrible catch attached to them, and indeed they do, as at that very moment the fields come under attack by a bunch of robot pterodactyls. Okay. Sam flies into action, fights valiantly against the robot threat, and is able to defeat them all pretty easily. After the battle, too, he decides to go digging through the remains of one of the robots and finds, you guessed it, a bunch of Eagle Star parts, meaning that this was all part of some much bigger scheme to get Sam here, attack him, and somehow hope that he would be so awed by everything that Harmon and Eagle Star were doing, he would stay on as some sort of weird superhero spokesmodel. Obviously, that plan backfired, and now Harmon can't let him leave. Oh, he's not going to attack him himself, though. Instead, he is going to speak a trigger phrase and activate Maverick, turning him into the Red Hulk once again against his will, saying that that is not the real Sam Wilson Captain America, that is an evil life model decoy that must be destroyed. And believe it or not, it's on that note right there the comic comes to a close, everybody, and so that was Sam Wilson Captain America issue number 1, and overall I thought this opening issue was pretty cool. It shows a lot of potential. If you're a big Greg Pak fan, I think you're especially going to enjoy this series as he goes out of his way to create a bunch of connective tissue to a bunch of other stuff he's written and you've probably enjoyed over the years. I know when everyone looked at the cover of this book, they probably thought the same thing. Oh look, a new Captain America book with Sam fighting the Red Hulk just in time for the new movie. Ain't multimedia grand. So you can imagine how pleasantly surprised I was when I dug into this series and found out that, oh yeah, Sam as Captain America is indeed fighting a Red Hulk, but it's not the one you think. In fact, hey, they brought back a character I forgot I enjoyed as much as I did. And also, don't worry, Thunderbolt Ross will be returning, just maybe not right away in this series. Now, the one thing I didn't quite enjoy as much about this series, and it's probably going to come as a shock to anyone who's followed my channel for a long time, the topical social commentary all felt just a little bit on the nose. I know, for me that's crazy, because usually I love it when comic books are as subtle as jackhammers when it comes to talking about important messages. We sadly live in a world where media literacy is at an all-time low, so sometimes you really do need to scream out your message for the cheap seats. And to be fair, I don't quite know what Greg Pak is trying to say in this book yet. Again, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and see where this all goes, and I hope he proves me wrong. But with all that being said, I would end up giving this first issue a 7.5 out of 10. Lots of room for improvement. I did enjoy it though, and I will be coming back for issue 2. Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quests. That's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow and, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.